الصف التاسع الأساسي كتاب اللغة الإنكليزية الوحدة التعليمية الخامسة تقدمت مبادرة ضوء بصوت خالد الطيان. الدرس 10 بعنوان Journeys. يغطي هذا التسجيل من الصفحة 74 إلى الصفحة 80. Text number 1. The Buried City. Episode 5. The Storm. Paragraph number 1. The next morning, Nadia was woken up by a strange howling sound. At first, she thought it was a wild animal. Then she realized it was the wind. She looked out of the window of her hotel room and saw a terrible sandstorm. It was 7 o'clock, but the sun was invisible in the sky. The security guard picked up Mr. Hamad and Nadia at the hotel and drove them to the buried city. The guard said, "The wind has been blowing since 4 o'clock this morning." Mr. Hamad replied, "Have you been able to search for the boys?" The guard said, "Some of my men are looking for them now." "Wait, I've just received a message on my mobile. I'm sorry, they've stopped looking. Now we have to wait for the storm to pass." Mr. Hamad looked at Nadia. They were very worried. Paragraph number 2. Hussein was looking up at the ceiling. Hussein said, "We've been down here for hours now. What time is it?" Tariq said, 9 o'clock. Hussein replied, "I've been waiting for the sunlight to shine down the hole. Maybe there's a storm outside." Tariq said, "Well, we've got to find a way out of here." They tried to use Hussein's mobile phone to call his father, but there was no signal, and the battery was low. Hussein said, "We've been here for a long time now, and we still haven't found a way out." Tariq said, "Don't worry, we'll be all right." Then Hussein pointed into the shadows. Hussein said, "Oh no, Tariq, look at that." Question number 1. What can you remember about the last episode? First, what has happened to Tariq and Hussein? The answer is, they have disappeared during a visit to the site of an ancient city. In fact, they have fallen through a hole into an underground room in a buried city. Second, what does Nadia think? The answer is, Nadia thinks they are still in the city. Question number 2. Listen and read section 1 of the story. Answer these questions. Number 1. What woke Nadia up? The answer is a strange howling sound or a sandstorm. Number 2. What was stopping the morning light? The answer is the sandstorm. Number 3. Where did Mr. Hamad and Nadia go? The answer is they went to the buried city. Number 4. What time did the wind start blowing? The answer is at 4 o'clock in the morning. Question number 3. Listen and read section 2 of the story. Answer these questions. Number 1. Why hasn't the sunlight shone down the hole? The answer is because there is a storm outside. Number 2. What did the boys try to do? The answer is they tried to use Hussein's mobile phone to call his father. Question number 5. Read the story again and answer these questions. Number 1. How long has the wind been blowing? The answer is the wind has been blowing since 4 o'clock this morning. Number 2. What have the guards been trying to do? The answer is they have been trying to find the boys. Number 3. Why have the guards stopped looking? The answer is the guards have stopped looking because they can't see anything. Number 4. How long have the boys been underground? The answer is they have been underground for hours. Number 5. What has Hussein been waiting for? The answer is, he has been waiting for the sunlight to shine down the hole. Number 6. Why couldn't the boys call Hussein's father? The answer is, the boys couldn't call Hussein's father because there was no signal and the battery was low. A car rally. Paragraph number 2. The Plymouth to Banjul Rally. Every year, more than 500 old cars set off from Plymouth in England to Banjul in Gambia, Africa. The drivers ask people to sponsor them, give them money if they arrive at their destination. The cars mustn't cost more than £100 sterling, and once they have started, the teams can't have any help from mechanics. They are on their own. It's a long journey, and the old cars have lots of problems, but most of them get to Banjul in the end. When they arrive, the teams must sell their cars and equipment. Those are the rules. Why do they do it? To raise money for local charities in Gambia. Clive and Andrew are driving their old car on the Plymouth Banjul Rally. Paragraph number 1. Andrew. Hi Clive, we're ready to set off. Blank number 1. Clive. No, not quite. Andrew. You've packed the spare wheel. Blank number 2. Clive. No, I haven't. Andrew. What about the food and drink? Clive. Sorry. Andrew. You haven't done anything. Blank number 3. Clive. Yes, I have. I've been studying French. Listen. Parlez-vous English? Andrew. That isn't very good, Clive. Blank number 1 is aren't we? Blank number 2 is haven't you? Blank number 3 is have you? Paragraph number 2. Clive. Are we going in the right direction? Andrew. Yes, of course. Clive. You do know where we're going. Blank number 4. Andrew. I'm not sure. Clive. You can read a map. Blank number 5. Andrew. Yes, I can, but I left my glasses in England. Blank number 4 is don't you? Blank number 5 is can't you? Paragraph number 3. Clive. You can't hear a funny noise. Blank number 6. Andrew. What kind of noise? Clive. I think it's the engine. Listen, you heard that? Blank number 7. Andrew. Yes, I did. I think we've got a problem. Blank number 6 is can you? Blank number 7 is didn't you? Paragraph number 4. Clive. We've been driving for hours. Blank number 8. Andrew. Yes, but don't worry, we are nearly there. Clive. We're going to finish the rally. Oh no. Andrew. You didn't remember to fill up with petrol. Blank number 9. Clive. Sorry, Andrew. Blank number 8 is haven't we? Blank number 9 is did we? Question number 4. Find the questions that mean the same as these sentences. Number 1. Andrew believes that they are ready. The answer is we are ready to set off, aren't we? Number 2. Andrew believes that Clive hasn't done anything. The answer is you haven't done anything, have you? Number 3. Clive believes that Andrew knows where they are going. The answer is you do know where we are going, don't you? Number 4. Clive wants Andrew to confirm that he heard a noise. The answer is you heard that, didn't you? Number 5. Andrew expects Clive to answer no to his question. The answer is, you didn't remember to fill up with petrol, did you? Question number 5. Copy and complete these questions with the appropriate question tags. Copy and complete these questions with appropriate question tags. Number 1. You've got the map, blank number 1. The answer is, haven't you? Number 2. We're stopping in this town, blank number 2. The answer is, aren't we? Number 3. They can't contact us, blank number 3. The answer is, can they? Number 4. She isn't at home, blank number 4. The answer is she? Number 5. He's been talking for hours, blank number 5. The answer is, hasn't he? Number 6. We saw amazing things, blank number 6. The answer is, didn't we? Text number 3. The Silk Road. Imagine going on a dangerous 7,000-kilometer journey on foot, leading your camels loaded with goods. You will experience cold, heat, hunger, and thirst, pass through deserts, and climb mountain ranges. When you get to your destination, you will trade your goods. Then you will be ready for the long journey home again. The Silk Road was an ancient route which connected the continents of Asia and Europe. The route linked China, Central Asia, northern India, and then the Persian and Roman empires. It was used between about 500 and 1300 CE. It is incredible that people used these routes, because they went into dangerous places such as the Taklamakan Desert and the Himalayan mountain ranges. Why did they do it? Well, at that time, only China produced silk, and it was the demand for silk that created this link between East and West. Merchants of the Chinese Empire traded their silk and spices with India, Europe, and the Eastern Mediterranean. They exchanged them for silver, precious stones, gold, and horses. The journeys took many months. Merchants had to go into the boiling desert, and in the mountains they faced freezing temperatures. They used anything between 100 and 1,000 camels to carry the goods. Each one could carry about 200 kilos. It was safer to travel in a group called a caravan because there were thieves. Caravanserai, early hotels, were built 30 to 40 kilometers from each other, which was about 8 or 10 hours on foot. They provided food and a bed, and fed the animals for free for 3 days, around 1300 CE. As the old empires declined, the Silk Road was used less. Travel by sea became less dangerous than a long land route, and Europeans were making their own silk. Soon, the old towns and monuments along the route were buried under the sand. But nowadays, there are paved roads and train tracks that follow the Silk Road. Question number 2. Read the article and answer these questions. Number 1. How long is the Silk Road? The answer is 7,000 kilometers. Number 2. What regions did the Silk Road cross? The answer is China, Central Asia, Northern India, Persian Empire, Roman Empire. Number 3. What were the dangers of the Silk Road? The answer is crossing the Taklamakan Desert and the Himalayas. Number 4. Why did people start using the Silk Road? The answer is to trade silk and spices in India, Europe, and the Eastern Mediterranean. Number 5. What goods were exchanged? The answer is silk, spices, silver, precious stones, gold, and horses. Number 6. What was a caravan like? The answer is a group of merchants and their camels traveling together. Writing. Question number 6. You are a merchant in the year 1000 CE, going from your hometown to China on the Silk Road. Write a diary for a day on your journey. كتاب الأنشطة من اللغة الإنكليزية. الدرس 10 بعنوان Journeys. يغطي هذا التسجيل من الصفحة 56 إلى 63. Help box. Use the present perfect to talk about actions and situations that started in the past and continue up to the present. Use for with a period of time or time expressions. Use since with a specific date or time expression. Example number 1. I've lived here for 14 years, or for most of my life. Example number 2. I've done gymnastics since I was a child, or since 1989. Use the present perfect continuous to talk about actions that were in progress at a time in the past and are continuing in the present or have just recently finished. Example number 1. Why are you crying? I've just been watching a sad film. Or, I've been watching a sad film. Example number 2. I've been looking after my neighbor's son all afternoon. Question number 1. Circle the correct answer. Number 1. I've known or been knowing my best friend all my life. The answer is known. Number 2. My mother has taught or been teaching me to play the piano, but I can't play very well yet. The answer is been teaching. Number 3. I've already tidied or been tidying my room. The answer is tidied. Number 4. I haven't visited or been visiting Europe yet. The answer is visited. Number 5. Hurry up. You've talked or been talking on the phone for an hour. The answer is been talking. Number 6. Where have you been? I've waited or been waiting for you all morning. The answer is been waiting. Number 7. Lubna, the post has just arrived or been arriving. Maybe there's a letter for you. The answer is arrived. Question number 2. Complete the poster with the present perfect continuous of the verbs in brackets. We need to save the environment. Here are some of the ways we are damaging our world. People waste paper, so paper manufacturers, blank number 1, cut down more and more trees to make more paper. Cattle farmers, blank number 2, clear rainforests too, to use as fields for their cattle. In the cities, factories and cars, blank number 3, fill the air with smoke and gases. People kill endangered animals and then sell their skins and fur to make money. But our environment club, blank number 4, think of ways to help save the world. Here are some of the things we, blank number 5, do. We, blank number 6, recycle paper, glass, and plastic. We, blank number 7, encourage people to walk or use public transport instead of cars. Why don't you join our club and help save the world too? Blank number 1 is have been cutting. Blank number 2 is have been clearing. Blank number 3 is have been filling. Blank number 4 is has been thinking. Blank number 5 is have been doing. Blank number 6 is have been recycling. Blank number 7 is have been encouraging. Question number 3. Write what these people have been doing using present perfect continuous. Number 1. She cut onions. The answer is she has been cutting onions. Number 2. He paint the room. The answer is he has been painting the room. Number 3. She make a cake. The answer is she has been making a cake. Number 4. She do exercise. The answer is she has been doing exercise. Number 5. He wash the car. The answer is he has been washing the car. Help box. We use question tags, mini questions, at the end of sentences to ask for information, to check information, or to make a question sound more polite. With positive questions, we use negative tags. Example number 1, you are English, aren't you? Example number 2, you will help me, won't you? Example number 3, it's a lovely day, isn't it? With negative questions, we use positive tags. Example number 1, they didn't do their homework, did they? Example number 2, you couldn't help me with this heavy box, could you? Example number 3, he can't drive it, can he? Question number 4, match the questions and the question tags. Number 1, the children left the door open. Number 2, it takes 5 hours to get there. Number 3, you can speak English. Number 4, we have to wear sports shoes. Number 5, I should say sorry to him. Number 6, he won't be late. Number 7, Anne couldn't answer the question. Number 8, it's too dark to see properly. Number 9, I'm not responsible for it. Number 10, it's not time to go home yet. A, can't you? B, could she? C, didn't they? D, doesn't it? E, isn't it? F, shouldn't I? G, don't we? H, is it? I, am I? J, will he? The answers are 1. C, 2. D, 3. A, 4. G, 5. F, 6. J, 7. B, 8. E, 9. I, 10. H. Question number 5. Add question tags to these sentences. Number 1. They've already been to Kuwait. Blank number 1. Blank number 1 is haven't they? Number 2. You are the new teacher. Blank number 2. Blank number 2 is aren't you? Number 3. You don't think someone stole your new bike. Blank number 3. Blank number 3 is do you? Number 4. You didn't bring your coat. Blank number 4. Blank number 4 is did you? Number 5. Your little sister has eaten all the biscuits. Blank number 5. Blank number 5 is hasn't she? Number 6. This weather is awful. Blank number 6. Blank number 6 is isn't it? Number 7. I can't do everything. Blank number 7. Blank number 7 is can I? Number 8. He is Syrian. Blank number 8. Blank number 8 is, isn't he? Question number 6. Complete the questions. Number 1. You, blank, help me lift this box. Could you? The answer is, couldn't. Number 2. They, blank, really suit me. Do they? The answer is, don't. Number 3. Blank, hot today, isn't it? The answer is, it's. Number 4. You, blank, Syrian, aren't you? The answer is, are. Number 5. We, blank, have to go and see something else, won't we? The answer is, will. Number 6. You, blank, the match, didn't you? The answer is, won. Text number 1. Reading. A Journey by Balloon. The desire to reach the North or South Pole has always attracted sailors and explorers. Many ships have been lost in the ice during these polar expeditions. One Swedish exploration team had the idea of flying to the North Pole in a hydrogen balloon. The leader was Andrei, an experienced Arctic explorer. He took with him 2 other men, Strindberg, a scientist, and Frankel, an engineer. They set off on the 11th of July, 1897, from Danes Island in the Arctic. The balloon was called Örnen, which is the Swedish word for eagle. In the basket with the 3 men was food, fuel for cooking, tents, guns, a boat and sledges in case they landed on the ice. They would then be able to make their way on foot across the ice to the North Pole. A crowd of spectators watched and cheered as the balloon took off, but that was the last time the men were ever seen alive. The balloon started leaking hydrogen gas and began to drop lower and lower. On the 14th of July, the balloon got caught in freezing fog. The weight of the ice meant the balloon became too heavy to continue flying. The men tried to save themselves from crashing by throwing everything out of the basket. It didn't work, but they survived the crash into the ice. They traveled across the ice for 2 months before they died. It wasn't until more than 30 years later that their skeletons were found near White Island, east of Spitsbergen Island, by 2 Norwegian sailors. The sailors also found Andrei's diary and camera. The diary, along with the photos, when they were developed, told the story of their long and difficult journey across the ice. Question number 1. Read the article and answer the questions. Number 1. Why did the explorers choose the name eagle for their balloon? The answer is, because an eagle is a bird, a powerful, high-flying bird. Number 2. Why did they take sledges and tents with them in the basket? The answer is, so that they could continue their travels on foot if they had to land on the ice. Number 3. What was the first serious problem with the balloon? The answer is, it began to leak hydrogen. Number 4. What happened 3 days after takeoff? The answer is, the balloon got caught in freezing fog and had to make a crash landing. Number 5. Why did they throw all their food and equipment out of the basket? The answer is, they wanted to make the balloon lighter and avoid crashing. Number 6. How do we know the details of the balloonist's journey? The answer is, a diary was found along with a camera and photos of the journey. Question number 2. Find words in the text that mean. Number 1. A long and difficult journey to discover a new area. The answer is expedition. Number 2. A gas that is lighter than air. The answer is hydrogen. Number 3. A type of ski for transporting people or goods across ice or snow. The answer is sledge. Number 4. People watching an event. The answer is spectators. Number 5. Stayed alive despite a crash. The answer is survived. Number 6. Only the bones of the body. The answer is skeleton. Writing. Help box. When you write about a journey, answer these questions. Number 1. Where did you go? When did you go there? Why? Number 2. How did you travel? Number 3. What do you remember most about the journey? Number 4. Was there anything you didn't enjoy? Did anything go wrong on the journey? Number 5. Would you make this journey again? Why or why not? Read this person's account of a journey and then write about a journey you have made. The first time I ever flew in a plane was when I was about 11. My parents were taking me to visit my cousins in Egypt. It was only a short flight, about an hour and a half, but it was an experience I'll never forget. I remember watching our suitcases disappear behind a screen and wondering if I would ever see them again. I am still amazed at how your luggage ends up at the same destination as you. Once on the plane, before we left the ground, I almost became bored. I remember thinking that perhaps flying wasn't such an exciting event after all. Then we took off. I was sitting by the window and seeing the plane rise into the air was magical. The view of my city from the sky was wonderful. I loved every minute of that journey, and I still love flying. Even though I have flown many times now, I still find it as exciting and thrilling as I did then. Module 5 Progress Test. Reading. Text number 1. The days between the 1st and 4th. Our overland adventure starts in Nairobi. After a short drive, we enter the grasslands, passing zebras and giraffes as we head towards Tanzania. In the town of Arusha, we join a local safari company to drive us through the Serengeti National Parks in open trucks, so that we can view the wildlife here. Elephants, lions, cheetahs, white rhinos, buffaloes, hippos, crocodiles, and flamingos. In the days between the 5th and the 9th, we drive to Dar es Salaam, passing the towering peak of Mount Kilimanjaro. We camp for about 3 nights in a campsite on a beautiful beach on the Indian Ocean coast. From here we take the ferry to the island of Zanzibar to explore the old streets and spice markets. The days between the 10th and the 18th. When we arrive back in Dar es Salaam, we continue on southwards through the mountains, passing rivers and small waterfalls. We reach Malawi with its huge freshwater lake. This is where we spend 3 days camping. The lake offers a variety of water sports, canoeing, windsurfing, and driving. From there, we cross into Mozambique and head for Zimbabwe. The days between the 21st and 23rd. From Zimbabwe's capital city, Harare, we head south to Gwiru to visit an unusual game park. Here you can look at wildlife while horse riding or on the back of an elephant. The days between the 24th and the 27th. From Gwiru we travel to the Great Zimbabwe Ruins. This is the site of the ancient, magnificent medieval city. From the city of Bulawayo, we catch a train to take us to the wonderful Victoria Falls. The day 28th, we have reached our destination. The African name for the Victoria Falls means the smoke that thunders, and no one can fail to be impressed by this majestic sight. It's a wonderful way to end an amazing expedition across Africa. Question number 1. Read the advertisement and choose the best title. Number 1. Journey to Zanzibar. Number 2. Journey from Kenya to Zimbabwe. Number 3. Traveling south from Cairo. The answer is Journey from Kenya to Zimbabwe. Question number 2. Read the advertisement. Which of the following activities can you do on this trip? Number 1. Canoe down a river in the jungle. Number 2. Take a ferry to an island. Number 3. Do water sports. Number 4. View wildlife on safari. Number 5. Fly in a helicopter. The answer is the second and the third and the fourth sentences. Question number 3. Read the advertisement again and find. Number 1. 3 types of animals you can see on this trip. The answer is any 3 from zebras, giraffes, elephants, lions, cheetahs, white rhinos, buffaloes, hippos, crocodiles, flamingos, and horses. Number 2. An island. The answer is Zanzibar. Number 3. A country with a large lake. The answer is Malawi. Number 4. 3 types of activities you can do on water. The answer is canoeing, windsurfing, and diving. Number 5. A place where you can ride an elephant. The answer is Game Park near Gweru, Zimbabwe. Number 6. An ancient city. The answer is the Great Zimbabwe Ruins. Number 7. A country with a famous waterfall. The answer is Zimbabwe. Language practice. Question number 1. Write about how paper is made. Use the passive form of the verbs in brackets. Number 1. The trees in the forest blank chopped down. The answer is are chopped down. Number 2. Then they blank cut into big pieces called logs. The answer is are cut. Number 3. They blank drive to the paper mill in lorries. The answer is are driven. Number 4. They blank break into tiny pieces by a machine. The answer is are broken. Number 5. After that, water blank number 1 add and blank number 2 mix with the tiny pieces of wood. Blank number 1 is added. Blank number 2 is mixed. Number 6. This water blank number 1 remove later and the paper blank number 2 dry out by a special machine. Blank number 1 is removed. Blank number 2 is dried out. Number 7. Finally, the paper blank make into large rolls on another machine. The answer is made. Question number 2. Complete the rules with the passive form of the verbs in brackets. Use can with the first 3 sentences and use can't with the last 3 sentences. The Odeon Theatre, Stratford. Number 1. Seats blank book in advance by phone or on the internet. The answer is can be booked. Number 2. Programs blank download from the internet. The answer is can be downloaded. Number 3. They blank also obtain at the box office. The answer is can also be obtained. Number 4. Food and drink blank take into the theater. The answer is can't be taken. Number 5. Ticket holders blank allow to enter the theater after a play has started? The answer is can't be allowed. Number 6. Mobile phones blank use during the performance. The answer is can't be used. Question number 3. Complete the sentences with the present or past passive. Number 1. The telephone blank invent by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876. The answer is was invented. Number 2. The game of basketball blank number 1 first thing of by James Naismith, a Canadian. Nowadays, basketball blank number 2 play all over the world. Blank number 1 is was first thought. Blank number 2 is played. Number 3. A lot of woods gold blank number 1 still produce in South Africa. Blank number 1 is still produced. Number 4. Penicillin blank number 1 discovered by Alexander Fleming. Blank number 1 was discovered. Number 5. In the past, most letters blank number 1 write by hand or blank number 2 type on machines, but nowadays computers blank number 3 use for letters. Blank number 1 were written. Blank number 2 is typed. Blank number 3 are used. Number 6. Every year a lot of money blank number 1 spent by people sending each other greeting cards. Blank number 1 is spent. Question number 4. Complete the letter with the present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. Dear Mom and Dad, I blank number 1 have a wonderful time here on the farm. You won't believe how early I blank number 2 get up. At the end of such busy days, I blank number 3 fall asleep quite early too, I must admit. For the last few days, Uncle Robert blank number 4 teach me to milk the cows, holding a newborn lamb blank number 5 be one of my most memorable experiences here on the farm. We blank number 6 just come back from a ride across the fields on one of the horses. It blank number 7 rain for the last few days and the fields are very wet and muddy. I blank number 8 just spend a very relaxing hour in a hot bath. Well, you'll be pleased to hear that I blank number 9 change my mind about the countryside. It's not boring after all. In fact, I think this is the best holiday I blank number 10 ever have. See you soon. Khalid. Blank number 1 is have been having. Blank number 2 is have been getting up. Blank number 3 is have been falling. Blank number 4 is has been teaching. Blank number 5 is has been. Blank number 6 is have just come. Blank number 7 is has been raining. Blank number 8 is have just spent. Blank number 10 is have changed. Blank number 10 is have ever had. Question number 5. Circle the correct tense. Number 1. Your eyes are red. Have you cried or been crying? The answer is been crying. Number 2. For the past 3 weeks, I've read or been reading a very sad story. The answer is been reading. Number 3. Phew, I'm so tired. I have cleaned or been cleaning the house all day. I've just finished or been finishing. The answer is been cleaning and finished. Number 4. It's 10 a.m. and you've only just woken or been waking up. You must have gone or been going to bed very late last night. The answer is woken and gone. Number 5. I hope our team wins today. We've practiced or been practicing hard all week. The answer is been practicing. Question number 6. Write the correct question tags. Number 1. You aren't going to the shops. Blank number 1. Blank number 1 is are you? Number 2. That's our new teacher. Blank number 2. Blank number 2 is isn't it? Number 3. Alexander's parents are both doctors. Blank number 3. Blank number 3 is aren't they? Number 4. You've been to Paris and Rome. Blank number 4. Blank number 4 is haven't you? Number 5. That couldn't possibly be true. Blank number 5. Blank number 5 is could it? Number 6. It takes a long time to fly to Australia. Blank number 6. Blank number 6 is doesn't it? Number 7. Most students in Britain have lunch at school. Blank number 7. Blank number 7 is don't they? Number 8. I can sit here. Blank number 8. Blank number 8 is can't I? Writing. Write about a visit you have made to an interesting place.